Muscle cars that beat Ferraris. American power versus Italian precision. 1. 1969 AMC AMX 390, the underdog with a vicious bite. The 1969 AMC AMX 390 was the David in a world of Goliaths, a compact, lightweight muscle car built to brawl. Unlike most muscle cars of the era, the AMX was a two-seater, making it lighter and more agile. Under the hood, it packed a 390 cubic inch V8, producing a fierce 315 horsepower. That might not sound like much compared to some big blocks, but the AMX weighed only 3,100 pounds. This gave it a stunning power-to-weight ratio, rivaling exotic cars of its time. It could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.7 seconds, faster than some Ferraris of the same era. The styling was aggressive but purposeful. Short wheelbase, long hood, and bulging fenders. It was hand-assembled, a rare approach in American manufacturing, giving it a custom feel. AMC marketed it as a direct competitor to the Corvette, and even challenged Ferrari owners to a face-off. On the drag strip, the AMX often beat Ferrari 275 GTB and even early 365 GT models in short-distance sprints. With its tight handling and responsive steering, it wasn't just a straight-line brute. Journalists praised it as Ferrari on a budget in multiple reviews of the time. Its interior was simple but driver-focused, with twin gauges and a stubby gear shifter. AMC even offered a performance version, the AMX SS, tuned by Hurst with wild upgrades. The car's success surprised the big players, especially considering AMC was the underdog in Detroit. Fewer than 20,000 AMXs were built, making it a rare collectible today. The AMX proved you didn't need Italian leather or a prancing horse badge to rule the streets. In many ways, it was more raw and connected than Ferraris of the day. It became a symbol of rebellious American engineering, refusing to follow the rules. Car and Driver compared its performance favorably with the Ferrari Dino 246, which cost nearly twice as much. Track days often saw the AMX overtaking imports in corners, thanks to its short wheelbase and low weight. AMC even ran it in SCCA and Trans Am competitions, going head-to-head with Mustangs and Camaros. It wasn't just fast, it was a muscle car that handled like a European sports car. Despite lacking the prestige of a Ferrari, it won hearts with grit and soul. The AMX's engine had a deep growl, rawer and angrier than the high-revving Ferraris. On top of that, it was cheaper to maintain, easier to modify, and just as thrilling. It wasn't built in Maranello, but on American roads, the AMX often had the last laugh. It's now a cult icon, praised for its balance, speed, and rarity. Many enthusiasts now seek it as a true performance gem, overlooked for years. Collectors say it delivers more smiles per mile than many six-figure exotics. Its legacy lives on as one of the most fearless creations of the muscle car era. Some AMX models have recently outrun Ferraris in vintage racing events. Its engine was underrated. Tuners often extracted 400-plus horsepower easily. A restored AMX today still shocks Ferrari drivers when the light turns green. It's a perfect mix of old-school torque and nimble chassis dynamics. If there was ever a muscle car that dared to fight Italy, it was the AMX 390. And many times, it won. Not with finesse, but with pure American firepower. And that's exactly what makes it unforgettable. 2. 1971 Buick GSX Stage 1, the gentleman's Ferrari killer. The 1971 Buick GSX Stage 1 was a muscle car dressed in a tuxedo, elegant on the outside, brutal underneath. It came with a 455 cubic inch V8, producing a factory-rated 360 horsepower. But actual output was closer to 420 horsepower. Its monstrous 510 pound-feet of torque at just 2,800 revolutions per minute was unheard of even in supercars. In fact, it had more torque than any Ferrari of the time, even the 365 GTB/4 Daytona. Despite its luxury branding, the GSX was a real street brawler. It could do 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds and ran the quarter mile in the low 13s. That was enough to humiliate many Italian exotics in a straight line. The car came with suspension upgrades, performance tires, and front-rear sway bars, making it surprisingly agile. Its heavy build didn't stop it from handling curves, it simply powered through them. Reviewers were shocked at how refined yet ferocious it felt. The GSX was a sleeper. Most Ferrari drivers never saw it coming. Its dual-hood scoops and bold striping gave clues to its muscle, but many didn't expect it to be that fast. The Stage 1 engine came with a high-lift camshaft, bigger valves, and higher compression. It was designed to look like a cruiser, but underneath, it was a street-legal dragster. Even Motor Trend compared its performance to high-end European sports cars. Ferraris might have had the flair, but the GSX had the brute force. Inside, it had plush seating, wood trim, and air conditioning. Unmatched luxury in the muscle world. Ferrari drivers roasted in summer while GSX owners rode in comfort. It was the kind of car you could race and then drive to dinner in style. Fewer than 500 GSX Stage 1s were produced in 1971, making it an ultra-rare gem. Collectors know it as one of the best-kept secrets in muscle history. It didn't scream race car, but it was faster than many of them. Ferraris might have taken corners with more grace, but the GSX took them without fear. On American highways, it was king. Its massive engine could cruise effortlessly at 120 miles per hour all day. Even on European roads, it shocked car snobs with its torque and straight-line speed. It was a muscle car with manners. But don't mistake that for weakness. Underestimating a GSX was a mistake many Ferrari drivers learned the hard way. Some car reviewers even said it could outrun a Ferrari 365 GTC/4 in a real-world drag race. The Buick GSX Stage 1 didn't just compete. It dominated in its lane. It redefined what muscle cars could be: fast, refined, and intimidating. Its legacy remains untouchable, even decades later. Today, it's still capable of putting modern sports cars in their place. With the right driver, a GSX is a torque monster few Ferraris can match. And when you hear its V8 roar, you know this isn't just an old Buick. It's a luxury muscle legend with enough punch to drop jaws. It might wear a Buick badge, but on the streets, it was the real predator, one that made even Ferrari drivers nervous. 3. 1970. Mercury Cyclone Spoiler, the NASCAR-bred Ferrari Hunter. The 1970 Mercury Cyclone Spoiler was born on the racetrack and bred for street domination. It came with a 429 Super Cobra Jet V8, built for one thing: high-speed victory. Rated at 375 horsepower, it was underrated by Ford to keep insurance rates low. True output was closer to 450 horsepower, making it a genuine supercar killer. It was built to homologate Mercury's NASCAR efforts, giving it wind tunnel-tested aerodynamics. The front end was shaped for airflow, the rear spoiler added stability, and the scoops weren't just for show. Its drag coefficient was better than most muscle cars, helping it stay stable at high speeds. It could hit 60 miles per hour in just over 5 seconds, with quarter miles in the low 13s. That was neck and neck with Ferrari's best, like the Daytona or Dino 246 GT. But the Cyclone spoiler had something Ferrari's didn't: raw intimidation. Its long, wide stance and loud exhaust made it a rolling warning. The engine came with a solid lifter cam, forged pistons, and a Holley 780 cubic feet per minute carburetor. This wasn't a cruiser, it was a missile with a license plate. Drivers reported top speeds near 150 miles per hour, a number few American cars touched back then. Ferrari drivers on open roads had no idea what just flew by. The interior was simple, all business, no fluff. It came with a close-ratio 4-speed and a Detroit locker rear end. Traction bars kept the rear from squatting, making launches brutally effective. It was used in actual stock car races, giving it real racing DNA. That heritage gave it street cred few could rival. It might not have had Italian leather, but it had American horsepower in excess. Compared to Ferraris, it was cheaper, easier to maintain, and far meaner. It didn't whisper. It shouted its power at the world. Collectors now look at the Cyclone spoiler as a forgotten weapon. Its numbers, styling, and history make it a true hidden gem. Only a few thousand were ever built, and even fewer survived. When you see one, you're looking at Detroit's answer to Maranello. Even Jay Leno praised its brute power and NASCAR roots. On a track, it could hang with Ferraris in the straights and dominate them on banked turns. Its exhaust note was thunder, unlike Ferrari's soprano scream. In muscle car history, few were as race-bred as the Cyclone spoiler. It was a car built for legends, and it still drives like one. Today, it's gaining attention from enthusiasts who want performance with pedigree. Ferrari may have ruled Europe, but Mercury ruled the ovals. And with the Cyclone spoiler, they ruled the highways too. It didn't just compete, it embarrassed the elite. It was one of the only muscle cars ever engineered with NASCAR in its DNA. That gave it the edge, the sound, and the swagger. And when it went head-to-head with Ferrari, it held nothing back.